Football is back, and with that comes division debates for Horsemen Sports. We do this every single year. We've kind of switched up the flow of how we do things, but it's essentially the same thing. We talk about every team, we break down every team, we figure out who's going to win every division, where everybody's placing, what their record's going to be. And let's get started here with the Atlanta Falcons. In 2022, they finished with a 7-10 record. And believe it or not, they actually had a chance to win their division. All right, coming into 2023, that's what we're focused on. Football's back. Everybody's at training camp. Let's talk about 2023. Did they get better or worse this offseason? In my opinion, the Falcons got significantly better this offseason. Right? You think about some of the guys they got. They got Jesse Bates, huge get. David Onyemata, Calais Campbell for their defensive line. That's going to be huge for them. Signed a couple of linebackers, Lorenzo Carter and Caden Ellis. They signed Bud Dupree for defensive end, and they got cornerback Mike Hughes, who's very good, right? And that's just the defense, and those are massive upgrades. The Falcons' defense has been trash for a couple years now. They spent a lot of money on that defense, and they should be much better. Will they be top 10? Maybe not, but they should have a significant improvement all around in 2023, right? So then you look at who they got for the offense. Obviously, Desmond Ridder was drafted last year. He's going to be the starter. But they signed Taylor Heineke, who might be the best backup in the league right now. Then they went out and got a weapon in Mac Hollins, who had a solid year last year for the Raiders. If he can replicate that for the Falcons, they'll be very happy with that, being able to pair him with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. And of course, they draft Bijan Robinson, and adding him to that whole mix could make this offense very dangerous. If Ridder can be any good, like pretty much as long as he's not trash, and as long as offensive line might still be a little bit of an issue, but as long as Ridder doesn't absolutely destroy the offense, they should put up a decent amount of points this year. Now, good news for that offensive line is that they also drafted a tackle, Matthew Bergeron, who's expected to be Pro Bowl level talent at worst. So with all that said, when I look at the Falcons, the question that comes to mind is how long until Taylor Heineke must replace Desmond Ridder at quarterback? When you look at the NFC South as a whole, look, it's possible that the Falcons could have a losing record and be competing for the division. And I believe Heineke would help this team win more games. At the end of the day, I just do. If you go look at Heineke's career, sure, he's not a top 10, top 12 quarterback, but he doesn't really make bad decisions. And he's a dog, man. Like, if you need a first down, and he has to run for it, and he has to run through somebody to pick up those yards. Like, I believe Heineke's the guy that's going to get it done. Because he's that dude. So at the end of the day, as I sit here and look through the schedule, and we'll actually do that real quick. Let's look through this schedule, and then we'll come back to that. Okay, week 1 versus the Panthers could be a key factor in who wins this division. Like I said, whoever wins the NFC South, they could win the division with a losing record. Totally possible in 2023. So winning this game week 1, a division game, week 1 against the Panthers, this is going to be massive. And in this instance, I have the Falcons winning that week 1 matchup. But then you keep going down the schedule. I actually have them losing the next 4 games. But then in week 6, they play the Commanders. And if Ridder isn't playing well and the Falcons aren't winning, the Washington game would be a great time to put Heineke back in at quarterback, or put him in at quarterback, to get a spark from the team, right? Going into that Washington game, imagine they're 1-4. Heineke gets put in at quarterback, going against Washington, a team that didn't think he was good enough to keep around. That's going to be a team that has a point to prove, and I think that's something that can galvanize a team and get a team to go on a little bit of a run. So with that in mind, I go back to the quarterback thing. At some point, I think Heineke takes over. My prediction is week 6 against the Commanders will be the time when he either starts at quarterback, or they're going to be losing that game and he's going to get thrusted into the game and he's going to go win that game for him. Okay, so then you look with Heineke starting the rest of the season. How do I see things going? They play the Titans in week 8. Arthur Smith in his return to Tennessee. Unfortunately, I think Tennessee, with the addition of D-Hop and what they already have there, as good as that defense is, and as good as a coach as Mike Vrabel is, that's a big part of it for me. Mike Vrabel is actually a really good coach. And I just think the Falcons will lose that game. But then you move on to weeks 14 through 18. They have 3 division games and 2 games against teams that may not be very good this season, which are the Colts and the Bears. I have the Falcons winning 2 of those games, that being against the Bucks and the Colts, but I have them losing the other 3 games, including Week 18 at the Saints. My final record prediction for the Falcons is going to be an 8-9 record prediction. They finished 3rd in the NFC South. And ultimately, starting Ridder over Heineke will be the reason this team doesn't make it to the playoffs in 2023. Okay, so that's my take on the 2023 Falcons. You let me know what you think of them down below. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on. We're going to have more videos on every team in the NFL every day leading up to the NFL season. So make sure you're subscribed. Keep coming back for more division debates every single day. And I'll see you for the next video.